Wild Manga back in with another YouTube video. My bad for being gone for a while, guys. Actually, during this freeze, had some pipes freeze over, so I had to fix that, and actually messed up my hand a little bit in the process. Didn't want to get any blood or anything on the books during the video, so I figured I'd just take a day and heal up. And so now we're here, back in with some more YouTube videos. How you guys been? Hope you guys are staying warm during this cold, or maybe the fire's over in California, wherever you are, depending on when you're watching or where you're watching. And so now, today's video, we are going to be discussing the anime and manga of Kakagiri. So, Kakagiri, I feel like, is a good story, and it's kind of interesting just because in this day and age, it feels like there's so many gambling addicts out there. And, I kind of say they're doing it wrong because a lot of them are just kind of like hustling backwards and stuff. And, you know, maybe some people in Kakiri are doing the same, but and not our main character. She is definitely a badass in the gambling world. And definitely, let's get into the plot of what our story Kakiri has for us today. So, in Hakao Private Academy, an institution for the privileged, with a very peculiar curriculum. You see, when you're the sons and the daughters of the wealthiest wealthy, it's not an athletic prowess or book smarts that keep you ahead. It's reading your opponent, the art of the deal. What better way to hone those skills than with a rigorous curriculum of gambling? At Hakao Private Academy, the winners live like kings and the losers are put through the ringer. But when Ibuki Jabami enrolls, she's gonna teach these kids what a high roller really looks like. We'll give you a little. There you go. Ibuki is definitely a very interesting character when it comes to gambling addicts, that's for sure. And throughout all of anime and manga, we definitely have seen our fair share of gambling addicts. Even in Naruto, one person that comes to mind is Granny Tsunade. She is actually a super big gambler, if most people do not know that. Yes, Tsunade was a huge gambling addict. She was actually terrible at it, though. She was so bad that she literally lost everything every time. And they would pretty much scam her out of her money because they knew how bad she was. And interesting enough, when she won, that was the only time she knew that something bad was going to happen. Because it never happened for her. So very, very funny. And so now we get into the story of Kakagiri with Yubiko Jamami. And it's completely opposite. And she, I'm not going to say wins them all, but you would like to believe that she's definitely skilled as the intro implied. She goes up against many contestants in many different games, and it's interesting that the enemy always has the upper hand, whether they're cheating or they've just known the game way better than anybody else. And so those advantages definitely play to their benefits. Interesting enough, I have one of the games pulled up in front of us that is an example of rock, paper, scissors. So, whichever card they drew, if it had paper, like the hand open, or the hand with the thumb closed in, would be rock. Or another paper. Yeah, it's been a minute since I read it. But definitely, as you see, the cards implied rock, paper, scissors. And so it was up to Yubiko to figure out how to win this game of cards, rock, paper, scissors. And some art style for Kakagiri really had me. You can have the maniacal kind of scenery. One good one with Yubiko. And that type of art style. We even have interesting diagrams of how some of these set games would work. So, very peculiar as well as interesting that you have to kind of understand the fundamentals of the game to even understand what they're playing. So, kind of an interesting aspect. Um, Out of all my collection, I don't think that I really have a manga directly dedicated to gambling, so it's definitely a first out there. Uh, I think that it's maybe not like a top tier thing in my collection, but I still hold it in high regards because I believe it's decently well written. The characters are pretty exciting. Um, the school is kind of plain, but like I said, the games make up for it, and the characters make up for it to a degree. Whether you're watching the anime or reading the manga, I kind of believe the manga and the anime are on point. There's a sense of like they're about similar, if not almost identical. I have 1 through 7 of Kakagiri in my collection. I don't really know if I plan on picking up more. As I said, it's not necessarily a high priority. I definitely do enjoy the story, but as I read through probably like 1 through 5, maybe all the way through volume 7, I just had other things that I was looking to pick up more, such as Berserk, One Piece, maybe some other big shonen, like I got Demon Slayer sometime last year, year before. So definitely, I feel like shonen have always been kind of my main thing, and then now slowly growing into seinen and some other like philosophical and psychological thrillers. I feel like is probably where some of and most of the stories that we'll be showcasing will probably be the genre of. What do you guys think of the bookends, the Snow White bookends? I feel like they actually look kind of good in the video. It's a three-piece set, and it's probably as expensive as a collection, but I feel like it's kind of worth it because once you end up getting so many books, that you kind of like to have unique bookends as well. The sometimes it's all about preference, and money. Is obviously not everything. Everybody comes by easily, and if you want to work towards something, it's always great to have a goal and think about what you want and execute. So there again, just final wrap ups of Kakagiri. I definitely think it's worth the read, or maybe worth the watch, and then maybe you'll decide you want to pick it up because some of us we could read the story first and then go watch the anime because we have kind of like strict rules on ourselves, or vice versa. We could go watch the anime and then go read the books. Um, or some people just kind of flip flop. I'm probably kind of in that third camp. Yeah, I don't really judge anybody for however they want to spend their time and energy. So final thoughts about Kakagiri. I really liked Yabiko Jamami. I feel like she was a very enticing and interesting character, and seeing how she plays these games with such confidence, even when she knows she's in like a losing position, it is very well done. And so, I mean, whether you're a man or a woman, you can still show strength of character even in the toughest of adversities. And I feel like that's really cool, even though this whole series is about gambling addicts in a sense, because I do believe that she is hardcore a gambling addict, but she's very skilled, and so she knows that her odds of winning are most likely higher than her opponents, and so it keeps her enticed to actually, I believe, lower her skill so that they even have a chance of winning. And so you're like, how does that work if they have the upper hand? And it's just like you'll have to read or watch the anime. Definitely, I hope I enticed you enough to Go check it out if you have not. It is definitely a couple years old, a couple years old now, and I definitely believe it's probably finished by now. And if not, then we don't know if it'll ever be finished, because in this day and age, sometimes they could put out a season and then never get to it again. But if you want to get to the manga, it is printed by Yen Press Manga. I think I got my set on either eBay or Amazon, as I usually do. Um, I think that I'll definitely keep it around in the collection because I think it's got really cool artwork, unique story, and I think we'll wrap it up here. This was Kakagiri by Taru Nomura, and the story was written by Homura Kamoto. Forgive me for ruining their names. I bet they are amazing people for creating this cool story we have in front of us today. Anyways, we'll see you around on the next time, and I hope you guys have a great night or day, whatever you guys are watching. See you around on the next one.